Shades on, the reality comes. Shades on, knowledge wisdom.
Well, hello. Okay, y'all know that it's always something going down and going on, but that's all right. We're going to keep it going. Hello, and welcome back to The Real Deal with the Reality Coach, hosted by none other than me. Grab your shades, a notepad. It's time to get real. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, let me explain the shades. We live in a world where people don't want to see the truth nor realize the truth. You may not want to see the truth, but you're going to hear the truth with the real deal with the reality coach. So let me say thank you for tuning in, and let's get ready to rumble. Today's show, okay, this month is actual second chance month for inmates. Well, my guest that was supposed to be on the show today had an emergency come up. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So what do? Hey, I'm the real deal with the reality coach. I've been asked so many questions this week. People are calling me about O.J. Simpson. And and people that mostly look like me, well, all the people look like me, my skin color, my complexion, either a little lighter or a little darker. And y'all, I put this hoodie on because I want y'all to know we're gonna be hood today. We're gonna talk about some real stuff going on. So nonetheless, I, of course, so willing to talk about the real deal. And I do have someone joining me whenever he can get on, if he can. If he can't, but I'm going to keep it going, y'all. And I'm pouring me up some water because, honey, it's going to get real right and tight up in here today because I got something to say. Excuse me. Now, the flyer says, what do blacks say about O.J. Juice Simpson? Let me make sure I'm reading this flyer right because I did it in a hurry. What do blacks say about O.J. Juice Simpson? And the original flyer says, really? That is the question. Really? Really? Are we really talking about this? Are people really asking us our opinion about O.J. now that he's deceased? Well, y'all know this topic just really burns my soul. Because first of all, why are they profiting off of they, meaning whoever it is, whether you're white, black, blue, Chinese, green, whatever? Why is this even a question? Why? Is this even a question? Why are they even marketing this as a tool to make money off of what we had to say about O.J. Simpson? Y'all know how we do it. When the news, well, there he is. Well, hello, sir. How are you? Okay, do you have your mic on? Okay, right. Okay, I was just explaining to the people that the audacity of people to have the nerve to call me and ask me, what do I think of O.J. Simpson? And it's all over the internet. What do black people say about O.J. Simpson? Why is this even a question? I'm appalled that we even have the nerve to try to make money off of or get votes or get likes or whatever the case may be off of such a hideous question. What do you mean? What do black people think about OJ? What do people think? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. For me, it's an easy thing to talk about because O.J. Simpson was America's sweetheart from the time I was born till now, and he was like Black America. He was like the first Black American pitchman. He was doing TV gigs. I mean, everything he touched turned to gold. He was an American original. They didn't want to get that type of mileage out of Ali. They did not utilize him that way. They didn't utilize Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, any of them. I mean, O.J. Simpson could have done movies. He did movies. He could. I mean, he did TV and he did sports. If the man had ran for president 40 years ago, he probably would have gotten in. Because
Okay, let me say it this way. What you're saying it should be the response, but what they're asking about is in regards to now the situation with, well, from what I've seen and what I've read, people are bringing it now. What you're saying is wonderful. That is what we should be saying about O.J. Simpson. But everybody's taking it off of that and turning it to a Nicole Simpson thing and a O.J. Simpson. He gets away with this. He got away with that. He killed this. He did. They're making it a racial issue when it shouldn't even be about that. And then they're using us as Black people to polarize it.
right, with a clickbait.
That
And
is and you're exactly right. That is the word, clickbait. When are we gonna stop being clickbait? When? Against
well,
ourselves.
that problem is old as time itself. Because I mean, we're always used, and race has always been used and manipulated to whatever point they want to try to make out of any subject matter. Now, people are still, and I mean, when I say people, like most of white America and most of bigoted America, still wants to portray this as he was the one that got away and he did this and did that. But here's the problem: if they had proven their cases more abundantly, then we wouldn't be here right now. It's not our fault that the police got caught lying, tampered with
As they
evidence,
always do.
and facts of that matter. They got caught doing that, and that's why because
And,
that part people forget about.
well, and another thing, but here's the thing. The sad thing about it all is we even have Black people saying, well, he got away with murder. Well, if it hadn't been for him being so rich, he would have gotten charged. And they may be right in that respect, but that ain't something you say amongst to the world. When are we gonna learn to keep our hurtful opinions about our own people amongst our people?
Well,
Because guess what? There's no other nationality. I mean, if you go right now and you ask a Hispanic about something that one of their people did, they may know that that person is guilty. It's all yesteryear, all out day, all day long. But guess what they're gonna tell you? We don't have nothing to say. Oh, me don't speak no English.
Comment.
Me don't speak no English. No comment. But not us. Let a camera get on us. There we go. We will sell each other out for nothing. And my whole thing is, when are we as a people going to start paying attention to the facts and not the act? Because they're making an issue out of the simple fact that it was a white woman that he was with. But the fact of the matter is, the state did not prove their case. They didn't prove their case.
Right. They failed miserably on proving the case, and that's going to happen 10 times out of 10. You fail to prove your case, you lose. I mean,
now in most cases, in this case, money did help. Money helped a whole abundantly. Lot. Because for one, I know about proving cases. And because the money is not as long as O.J. Simpson, my son is sitting in prison. But nonetheless, that's going to change too. Dallas County.
Well, the man spent over $12 million defending his case. I mean, I would say 99.9% of Black America wouldn't have the money. And see, the biggest thing that came out of that case that got swept under the rug real quick is that how many other cases has Mark Furman, Philip Van Natter, Tom Lang, and Ron Phillips covered in their careers as police officers? Because if you check out the Mark Furman tapes, he clearly talked about how he has beaten up black suspects, framed black suspects, sent people to prison. How many people have been sent to prison behind the gruesome, fictitious activities of the LAPD and just about every other PD? If they ever did a total, complete inventory on how many police misconduct cases been missed, prosecutorial misconduct, judicial misconduct of any sort, this country would go broke paying everybody back. You want to talk about reparations? Those are some reparations for people. How many cases have gotten swept under the rug behind police criminal behavior? When they first got body cams out, it was supposed to aid them in making these cases stick. But what it ended up doing, it kept exposing police officers.
So guess what they do now? And I know this for a fact, and I ain't talking about somebody else's stuff. I sat in the courtroom and heard them say 15 officers and not one body cam was on? Not one?
Right.
How?
I mean, look at just what happened yesterday. Freddie Haynes was touted as the next civil rights icon in America, had set up everything here for the Rainbow Push Coalition here in Dallas. Then, as abruptly as he accepted the job, he now declining the job. Now, I ain't the smartest mofo in the world, but I have a feeling that it made a lot of people uncomfortable that he was it made a lot of people uncomfortable as to what was going on, that he was I guess they got something on him or something he didn't want to do or something came about that caused him to balk on what was going on, and he didn't accept it. So now everything's back to square zero. I mean, ground zero. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say this in all honesty, as vocal as Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes is over there on 20, as vocal as he is, first of all, if they had something on him, they would have been and exposed it, especially when that $1 million trucking company wanted to put a warehouse across the street or in that vicinity where he took off from Rainbow Push and went to the courthouse and said, no, you're not. Put it over in your neighborhood. We don't need it over here. We got enough stuff going on. So with that type of going up against that type of organization or company, if they had something on them, that would have been the time that they would have used it. Well, they've had plenty of time to use it, but nonetheless,
this is just speculation. We're not speaking in fact, but
I'm just giving some clarity on a personal opinion that if they did have something on Dr. Haynes, he's given them plenty of reasoning to try to tarnish his character because he's standing up for people that look like him, and I commend him. So my speculation, my opinion, the reality coach's opinion about that is, were they trying to make him degrade his moral compass? Were they trying to make him do something like you said, either something on him or something he didn't want to do? Whatever the case may be, kudos to Dr. Haynes, because Dr. Haynes, Rainbow Push went and sought out him. He didn't need them to be known. He's iconic right here in the community himself, and he got people that were standing behind him. And I'm not a member of Friendship West, but I do commend what that pastor does. I ain't seen no other pastor in this city or county that will go to bat like that for Black people. I haven't seen it. Now, if I missed it, maybe my eyes was closed. Now, with that being said, that's my take on that. Right. Hats off to Dr. Freddie Douglass Haynes, because I don't know what his reasoning was, as you don't know, but whatever the case may be, it speaks volumes. You either ain't gonna be sold or ain't gonna be told.
You remember what we said about this about 2 months ago when they first considering this. I said only time will tell what will become of this, because I had my skepticism from the very beginning that he was going to not just only accept the position, but what impact was this position going to have on the nomenclature here in Dallas County, because I mean, you and I both know a lot of the skeletons is in the closets out here, and the things that have happened that that we've spoken about. And at the end of the day, we need some type of we need some type of legal representation, some type of clarity to help people who cannot help themselves. Uh, you know as well as I do the cost it garners to go through a case, paying for attorney fees, trying to uncover things that are going on, and then even after you uncover them, trying to get them put into the public light. I mean, you know as well as I do that the corrupt judges, the attorneys that working around here, the police officers. We speak about these things, and sometimes we do it even at the risk of our own personal safety. Because
Well, my biggest thing
I
is,
won't forget about April 27th, 2021. I was shot at because I was up here fighting a case trying to get a corrupt police officer charged for theft under the color of authority. So everything we do out here, it comes at a risk, regardless
well,
of whatever it is we're doing.
this is true. This is true. But what gets me is if Rainbow Push Coalition was anything like any of these other not-for-profit, non-profit organizations that say that they're in the they're on the side of seeking justice for those who are treated with injustice. They get this funding, they get all of this money, and they say that they're going to do this, do that, do this, that, or another, and they do absolutely nothing. And and if this is the case with Rainbow Push Coalition, because for one, I ain't seen them push nothing, not even a wagon lately. So I'm just saying.
We can say the same thing about the NAACP if you want to just be technical about it.
NAACP, the Innocent Project, why does it take 35 years for y'all to do
ACLU.
something? I don't understand it. And I'm a living witness. When I reached out to the Innocent Project, they told me all state remedies must be exhausted and DNA must be part of the situation. Well, duh. Why should all state remedies be exhausted when you sitting here got clear evidence that says that exoneration should be immediate? And then you say DNA. Well, DNA is part of the case, but I don't understand that. But
Right.
yet I constantly get emails for donations from the Innocent Project. Donate, donate, donate. Well, let me nominate somebody real first, and then I can donate. Okay. And that goes with all of these other, the NAACP, get donate, donate. All of these elected officials, donate, donate, donate. It's horrible. It's deplorable. And what are Black people saying about these things? It ain't my battle. Just like they talking about O.J. Simpson now. Well, he did marry a white woman. What does that have to do with his contribution to society? Yes, he did leave our community. It does look like he didn't do any. I didn't see him do. I don't know of anything he done for people that look like me while he was in that highlight. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
he did. I didn't do any research on it, so I can't verify that. Maybe someone can put
Right.
in the chat box or something that he did do something for people that look like me. But from what I can see or what I've heard, I haven't heard anyone talk about what he's done for people that look like him. So let me tell you, Black people who are in a position like OJ, Michael Jordan, all y'all. I don't know. I don't know if they are not doing anything. But if you ain't doing nothing for your people while you are living, it's bad enough we're gonna talk about you while you're living. But boy, if you die and you ain't did nothing, oh, we sure gonna slam you. And then we're gonna make sure that everybody else get paid off of our clickbait.
Right. I mean, it's just like I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said
Mm-hmm.
it everything best in barely 2 sentences. He just basically said, as any Black celebrity, Black American icon or anything like that, we do have an obligation to to our race and to our community to be a positive part of it. And he just said, unfortunately for Mr. Simpson, he failed to do those things in his lifetime. And now that his lifetime is over, we're now seeing how your life can be totally destroyed in an upheaval. I'm going to be writing I'm be writing some segments about Mr. Simpson's life and its effect on the American society, and just call it the transmogrification of a Black American hero, because
Well,
they built his image up, they stoked it, but then when he fell out of grace, they transmogrified it and shammed it up and totally destroyed it. And yes, he does have some responsibility for what had happened. But
well, while Kareem is while now this is just some real truth. While
yeah,
Kareem is stating this, give us some of his accolades and contributions to the Black community.
well, I mean, he's donated to many charities for Black America. He's done a lot of mentoring programs. I mean, a lot of the things that they do, a lot of times they do them without even having cameras on them, because they're not. That's not the whole purpose of what they're trying to do on these matters. Uh,
Well, but the whole thing is
Jim Brown did a lot of things for the Black
I didn't.
community.
I'm not. I understand
You're
Jim
just
Brown,
talking
but I'm
about
talking about
Kareem.
yes, Kareem. If you're going to make those kind of statements, show us what you've done, and it shouldn't be a secret what we do for our community, and that is the whole point. Maybe he can be a role model that will be an inspiration. I know Michael Jordan has done a lot for people of color, but they need to start making this public information. It shouldn't be a secret, because then they can inspire others to follow in that, because these are legends in our community. I mean, Kareem is a dream. He's phenomenal. He's one of the greatest of all times. So,
Right.
Mr. Kareem, if you've done something for our people, let us know and be an inspiration. Be something that motivates us to want to do more. If we see the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doing it, that should be an inspiration for all of us. You can be a spokesperson. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all these people that are in my day, Magic Johnson, all y'all, what are y'all doing? Do something so we can have some history to show those up and coming athletes. Look at all these athletes, Michael Irvin, Dak Prescott, all of these people that are coming up in the shadow of, in behind you all. What did y'all do? I don't know how it goes. I ain't never had that kind of money. I've never had that kind of publicity. I've never had that notoriety. So maybe I don't know. But if there's something that I don't know, please enlighten me, so that way I can figure out how to work within a system that keeps the oppressed oppressed. Maybe I can
Got it.
learn something. I
Now,
don't
you
know.
say
And,
this on
and
that
not saying
last
that they're
part.
not doing it. And maybe there's a reason why they keep it hidden. Who knows? We don't know. But all I'm saying, if there is, I would love for one of these infamous celebrities, athletes, or someone to explain. And if you can't do it publicly, I don't know how. Get somebody else, get somebody that ain't as famous as you are to get out here and do it. Call me, heck, I'll tell it. It ain't no, hey, the real deal with the reality coach. I'll tell you what the real deal is, and I'll tell you the real deal about my people. My people will cut us off, what they used to say, um, bite your nose to spite your face, to spite your nose, or something like that. We
No,
do it
you
all
got
the
it right
time.
the first time.
Okay, so if we can figure out a way to stop that mentality, that old crawfish in a barrel, that slave masters methodology, then maybe we can grow and we can come back as a unified base of people. What you said about OJ Simpson was phenomenal. It should be written everywhere. I mean, but everybody's taking away from what he did do to give us. How many people wasn't inspired to go to school and become an athlete, become a football player, be like the juice, orange juice? You know, who didn't inspire to be him? But they're taking away from that.
I
But
remember
of course,
my
OJ
uncle.
Simpson put himself in a position to have that happen. But sometimes you don't have to put yourself in a position.
Yeah,
If
when
the
I was a kid,
people,
I had an uncle that named that was my nickname. One of my uncles called me OJ because he talked about, how my vernacular was even at 5, 6 years old. And he
Mhm.
was just impressed by, the intellect that I was showing even at such a tender age. I always been, I guess as they say, some things you're destined to become, and being a public speaker has now become one of those destinies.
Well, and here's the thing. Back to what I'm saying is he inspired you, or after your uncle called you, OJ, I'm sure you went and did your research to figure out who he was and what he did, and if you didn't already know, because I'm sure that was the only name that came out of people's mouth back then. OJ,
Back in the
OJ,
'70s,
OJ.
everybody knew OJ. So
Exactly. And again, back to what I was saying, OJ, people have to know that when the corruption in the system wants an individual, they will do anything to tarnish that individual and will do anything to get a conviction. And as we can see, they were so sloppy in their work that OJ Simpson was acquitted of all charges.
right,
And if you are that desperate to ruin someone's reputation that you will go to these extremes, it's sad. And this is why I want my people to understand, don't always believe what you see in front of the camera, because
exactly.
sound bites, clickbait, taking stuff in and out and making it gaslighting, all of that stuff is a part of making you buy into the story. And guess what, Black people? We are the ones that they make the most money off of. Our opinions are
Exactly.
so needed to keep stuff spiraling, to keep gossip going. We can enhance a story and we can make a story be good even if it ain't good.
I mean, just off of the fact that how the 13th Amendment was constituted,
Hmm.
and how they used criminal prosecution for a way to circumvent the 13th Amendment. And they've been doing that to whom the most here in America? Blacks, uneducated whites, immigrants. That machine has never stopped going. I mean, this state alone makes countless billions of dollars. Even these local politicians, they investing in the prison funds, the CCA corporations. They're making
Well,
money hand over
and,
fist over
and he ain't lying,
prosecuting,
y'all. He ain't lying.
right, over prosecuting people like us. You know, when how many times you heard me say, when I'm out here on this road, I have to pretend like the whole world has me under surveillance. And I mean, just look at what happened the other week, how fast Rasheed Rice got on TV. I mean, people just seem to have cameras everywhere at some of the damnedest of places. They don't even
When
have
they
They
want
don't
to.
even have
When
traffic
when
cameras on 75, but they caught him. They
when they
caught him
want
quick,
to. When they want
just as it happened.
when they want to.
Right. And I mean, and I'm not condoning anything that he's doing or done or still yet to be determined. But that's just how easy you can become in the spotlight.
Uh-huh. And how
You know,
easy they can take you out of the spotlight once they realize, uh-oh, maybe this ain't gonna work out right. Like say for instance, Dak Prescott. When Dak was accused by the woman of raping her, it was everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Now that Dak can flip the table, oh no, you gonna prove your case and now I'm gonna sue you. We ain't heard nothing else about it, have we?
they dismissed the case yesterday.
Did it make national news?
Well, I did see it on I did see it on a little news alert on the phone this morning that they have dismissed the case without prejudice.
Did you see it on the as breaking
I haven't
news?
seen it on TV yet because
Oh,
I haven't seen the news on TV just yet.
well, let me tell you what I do know. When they made this announcement about that, did you have to see it in order to hear it?
I mean, it's always best to see to believe than to just, catching it by word of mouth. Because I
No,
mean,
no, my question is. I know it is. I know what you're saying, but my question was, did you have to see it in order to hear that Dak had been charged and accused of raping a white woman?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
You had to see it, or you didn't?
Well, no, I mean, I had to see it. I mean, I saw it, and then after that, that's when I responded to it. But in
But what
any
I'm
re-
saying, let me see if I
what?
can ask the question a little clearer. I don't watch the news. Ain't seen the news. But guess what? I heard about it. So all I'm saying is that when it's something to be gossiped about, when it's involving somebody black, especially an athlete, or even somebody that ain't even an athlete, and it's something so negative and so degrading, you will hear about it before you even have to see it on the news. But
Well,
then, like you're saying, you got to go fact check it. Is that really what
right,
happened? Because you went back and you fact checked yours, or you maybe not heard, but I heard about it
right.
before I even saw it,
Well,
and that's
I
the
don't
sad
speak
part.
on anything until I have clarification. Because see, how many times we've said this, we have but one time to get something wrong, and then we're done. We're trash after that.
But
But
I didn't ask you to
people
speak
in
on
the
it. I asked
society
a
can
simple
be
question.
wrong 100
You
times
acting like a
over.
media. You acting like a reporter and a media person. I didn't ask you if you spoke on it. My question was, did you hear about it before you went and saw it, whether you spoke on it or not?
I had heard of what was going on, but like I said, I had to make sure to verify before I spoke on or even make a conclusion about it.
Okay, so what's the difference between I heard about it or heard of it? What's the difference?
So that's the difference between rumor and fact.
No,
I mean, we live in a world of
that.
rumor every
Oh,
time.
no. I'm not asking you. See, that's what, and this is what I'm talking about with people that do reporting and they do stuff. You all are masters of evading a question that's a simple yes or no. Did you hear about it before you saw it?
I
Simple
said that
question.
already.
You said I heard of it.
Heard of it, heard about it, heard the words that was coming out of people's mouths. Yes, I
Okay,
heard
thank
quite a
you.
few things, but as I
I didn't
said,
ask about
once
quite a
I
few
heard,
things. I just asked about one thing. And that's what I'm saying. And black people, this is what I'm talking about, reporters. This is what they do. You can ask them one question and they can go all the way around that whole question, just like an attorney. You can ask that attorney one thing, he'll give you 50,000 things before he answers that question. And by then, you done forgot your own question. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just giving people an example of how things go. That's why we got to learn to start doing things instead of always looking on TikTok and Facebook. We got to do things that's going to keep our minds sharp. Because if not, people can. This is what they do. It's just like I've been in situations where people have said, I've said something. No, that's not what I said. That's the words you use, not you particular.
right,
I'm just
I
saying
know what you
I have
mean.
to tell people, no, that's not what I said. That's what you wanted me to say. No, what I said was, and because we are so programmed and we are so methodical that we just fall into these traps and it's just horrible. And all I'm saying is that me and you went back and forth on a simple question. I wasn't asking you to give an opinion or anything. I was just asking because I know you can't say something publicly about something without doing your research because of what you do as a writer. You that would be insane. It would
Right.
be
I
detrimental to your
mean,
career.
nobody
And
wants to deal with that type of indemnity because
right.
like now that I've started writing for the Elite News since January, yeah, before we put it out on print, we make sure we got everything that needs to be said because just a couple sentences of something on anybody can be catastrophic if it comes out to be inaccurate.
Okay, and I like the plug that you just gave yourself. He is a writer now for Elite News since January. Everybody, you can see his articles in the Elite News. Reggie, is it Reggie Ruffin?
It's Reggie Ruffin.
Okay, so now we got that's great. All I'm saying is that we do too much. We do too much, and we so I mean, this is why people have an issue with me because I'm known as probably combative or unorthodox, or my thinking is backwards. Why does my thinking have to be backwards when I can ask a simple yes or no question and get gone around the world 50 times and I'm still okay, you can say all that, but I'm still back to my initial question. But my thinking and I'm unorthodox at that point. I don't understand that. And when I'm telling the truth, people are upset. Like example, LBQAFGIDC, whatever the truth. Whatever acronym you want to put there for yourself. I don't have a problem with you living your life the way you live it. I don't have a problem with expressing love. But what I have a problem with is if I know you are born a female and you decide to go to be a male, I'm not getting ready to drop the S and call you he, she. Now, you can still say you're he. I don't care what you do. You're not going to make me be a liar because that's what you choose to do. I'm not knocking you. That don't mean, but I'm accused of not loving people or not a gay basher or whatever. That's not it. I can love you just for who you. I love you for who I know you to be. But I'm disrespectful when I don't accept you changing your identity. No, you're disrespectful to me when you expect me to change with my line, change my seeing eyes to lying eyes.
Right.
So why am I the villain? But guess who makes me the villain in a lot of these cases? Black people. When I talk about my son's case, what is the first thing people say? Black people. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Just like with OJ. What is wrong with us? What have we become? We become so engaged in being educated until we ain't equipped with nothing. It's like our common sense is over yonder. And I did say over yonder.
Yeah. Loud
because that's how now that we know it's over there, we done forgot over yonder. We done forgot how to talk like that. We be too important to talk like that now. What you say? Well, maybe we need to go back to some of that. Because I tell you what, before we was as educated as we are, we could put a whole house together we could make sticks and stones into a house and a home. Now, you bet not ask somebody black. Well, to go out in the heat of the day and put no piece of brick, cut no grass, lay no tar, pick up no trash, none of that. It's too hot. Now we don't know how to build nothing. I know we used to be able to garden. Now I'm so scared of bugs. Me myself, I don't want no bugs to get in my hands. But guess what, y'all? We better get some sense again, and we better get to figuring out how to plant the flowers or the greens during this time of the season or that time. I don't even know. But that is stuff that we didn't have to have an education to do. We just had to be equipped, knowledge passed down. And that's why I'm saying to these athletes, show us what you're doing. Let us have some legacy and some history. Yes, be a reporter, but don't go all the way around the whole story. The simple, when a question is asked is yes or no. However, I cannot speak on things before I get the facts. Respect it. But to say all of the extra stuff before that, disrespect it. Don't respect it at all. Because it's not necessary. Because I got common sense to know that you as a article writer, you can't just go off and say something and don't have no facts.
No.
And if you did, I would being your friend and being someone that knows you, I would tell you. You may not want to do that, brother. And that's what I'm supposed to do.
How many times we done had those conversations off the air?
And it don't sound right. It don't sound good. And I tell and I'm always on Reggie about different things. Always. And he's always on me about stuff. But that doesn't stop us from having a relationship, a friendship, because I need a Reggie in my life. Now you may not do that one. Well, no, that ain't this. Well, well, think about it. But
Well, like I said, it's a lot of give and take at that point.
and it's cool, but we as a people can't do that no more. Somebody say something like example, yesterday I had a gentleman. He sent me a reply that I thought was tasteless and tacky. As the old folks say, talking under my clothes. So I just text him back and let him know I didn't appreciate that. And if I did something that misled him, please forgive me. Because that certainly was not my intent.
Right.
Oh, I was just joking. Well, I don't think joking should be considered. When did our men start doing joking like that? I don't know no real man that jokes like that underneath a woman's clothes, but okay, if so. But then to just say you joking, and when I correct you, you have the nerve to be insulted because I called you out on something that was offensive to me. Whether you joking or not, I didn't say anything that was mean. I just said, well,
Right.
forgive me if I gave you the impression that it was okay. I put it back on me. So in my thinking, all that should have been said to me is my apologies. I will not ever say that again. But no, what I got was, you seem to not say nothing about it when I said it on Sunday at church. Well, if I'd have heard you say it at church, I'd have really went off. I obviously didn't hear you. But nonetheless, from now on, let's just speak and let's just stay in past and don't even speak. Basically, don't speak to me.
Right.
But this is a sister talking to a brother. Maybe he don't know. Maybe the women have gotten to the point to where they all right with some of that stuff. Some of them are all right with that, but you got one that ain't. So why would you do that? Why would you be mad? Because I called you out on it, or I helped you see it from my perspective.
Right.
You
I
mad?
mean, there's nothing wrong with any of us being different. Ain't nothing wrong with us having differences of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I mean, we always have to respect other people's differences, but not to the point where they're actually trying to shove it down your throat or try to beat you down about it, or even it was happening to me. Some people just totally disowned our relationship because I wouldn't cave in or capitulate to whatever it was they wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so when you have a person like that, then you have to realize that person was never your friend in the first place.
Well, we use that word loosely, don't we? And I've
Yes,
had
we do.
people tell me constantly about certain things. Well, why would you want? Oh, there's some comments. Hold on, just 1 second. Um, Hello, my friend. Again, may God intervene and tear down the walls of our race. Hey, we need each other and we need unity. Hang in there. It's time to pray. Amen. That comes from Brother Doug Litz. And he's
Mhm.
always been very supportive. I mean, when I say this man has been one warrior and praying for me, and he's a ray of light in darkness for me. He really is. When I've been scrutinized at my lowest point, this white brother of mine has come through and kept me encouraged. And he says, our son has tremendously impacted the lives of 3 Black teenagers. He picks them up every Sunday and Wednesday for church. They are now involved with the youth. They come over and out with us and stay the night. We are so blessed to have them as part of our family. It's like they enjoy us and we enjoy them. And that's what I'm saying. There are white people. We keep all this stuff going, and we got to stop. And I appreciate him being willing to be transparent to say that means a lot. And we as Black people got to stop. That's all I'm saying. We do a lot of stuff to our own. So if we do it to ourselves, what makes us think that white people, Chinese people, Hispanic people, other cultures are not going to disrespect us? If they're
Right.
watching us tear down each other, when you I have never seen. Let me put these shades on because this is dark too. You may not want to see, but you can ready to hear. Let me put these on. I have never. Let me say it this way. I have never seen. Maybe the black folks that really watch, black folk that really watching. I ain't never seen a headline. What do white people say about anybody? Okay, Trump. He's one of the most hated, most loved, most whatever by all people. I ain't never seen a subtitle. No, the title. What do white people say about Trump?
Oh, you asking me that question?
No, I'm saying I've never seen that anywhere where a white person has put out there, what do white people say about somebody white? But you got the audacity, black people, to have the nerve to put out there, what do black people say about OJ? I'm done. I don't even know what else to say.
Well, I mean, now that he's gone, we're hoping that all this will go away. But as we're seeing now, it's like they ready to ramp up and crank up a whole nother his legacy campaign, which I'm not really I'm really not all down with, because of course
It's called money. It's called money.
They also angry at him because he ain't spit no money out while during those years during that civil suit, because I still couldn't get over the fact that you could sue somebody and win on that and just totally debunk everything that ever happened in the criminal trial. But
I got a problem with you can sit there and put somebody in prison for life and got DNA that clears them, but the DNA that you convicted them on, it comes from a Clinton's closed since 1992. Help me understand that.
And get like Marvin Gaye, talk to me so I can see what's going
on. But nonetheless, it is what it is. All I'm saying is that we as a people should be insulted that someone would even put out there, what do blacks have to say about OJ? Really? You didn't ask me what do blacks have to say about OJ when he won that case? Why wouldn't you ask me that then?
Right.
If you're going to ask me then. It didn't matter. Our opinion didn't matter then. But now you want to make some money off of us so you can keep us going. You can keep the narrative going, white against black, black against white. No, ain't nobody got. The only thing you should be saying about OJ is what you said. His legacy. Now, OJ did put himself in a position to where his character and all the stuff that he did could be looked at in a different light. But at the end of the day, you can't change what he did.
No, you can't.
You can't take them trophies away. You can't take me seeing him run across that Hertz car lot, renting them Hertz rental cars. You can't take that away from me.
Oh, see, and the other thing in that respect is, what did his criminal case bring to light to America? ESPN did a 5-part series on him a few years before he passed away about OJ Made in America. Probably one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, because it brought out a lot of ugly truths that's been standing in our face the whole time. Is that no matter how bad you want to try to separate these things, there's always a contrast between black and white, rich and poor, and right and wrong. And we see that every day playing out. And
let me ask you this, Reggie.
better, and it probably won't ever get any better. But the only thing I can hope and pray that in my lifetime that something of some salience may occur. But it's like at what cost? How many more people have to die out here on these streets? How many more people have to go to prison wrongfully out here on these streets? We supposed to have the greatest justice system in the world, but it just depends on who you are and what you got in your, like Capital One, what's in your wallet.
That part.
Because that part, I think, is the worst. Is the worst impression we have now, and it's the worst image that we have now. Is that any one of us can be destroyed at any given time by a system that's based upon drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they can make high drama about you, then hey, they gonna take you down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Now, the word, I'm trying to look it up to make sure I understand the words you chose to use. Um,
transmogrify.
no. Mm-mm. Okay. I was looking up the word contrast because a lot of people may not understand contrast. I was going to simplify the word
Right.
because
Trying to use simple words.
sometimes look, contrast is what it means, and I was just trying to find a simplified word. In other words, major difference.
How about differences with definite distinctions? How about that one?
It's still major difference. That's point blank. That's all. Y'all different. Y'all different. That's all I'm saying. And it's great to be, and this is one thing. Can I speak jargon that's not the norm? Absolutely. But I appreciate people like you because you bring out words that help me teach my people. This is a word, but we can also mean this too, because there are a lot of people that, because of these things right here now, ain't nobody really taking time to study and learn stuff hardly no more either. You know, you probably had a dictionary and an encyclopedia.
Growing
Now
up,
we
I
just,
did, but the thing is, even now at 56 years old, sometimes I have to relearn some of these things. And
well, I'm just saying that's true. But now you can say, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google," "Hey," you can get it instead of having to go and, like you said, fact check, make sure Google is right, because sometimes Google ain't always right. Now, I'll say 99.92% they are, but there might be that little itty bitty iota where they may not be right. But you still need to go and
well,
find
you
out.
remember when Star Trek came out, the technology they was using on Star Trek back in the 60s is kind of pretty much where we living in now. You know, we can just open up your transmitter, which was like a flip phone back then for Star Trek, and you can ask questions, and then the computer will tell you back everything and define exactly what it is you was asking about.
Didn't even think about that, but you sure right. And the Jetsons, now they got cars that's driving themselves. I'm just waiting for us to get the control, the air controller. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Mr. Let
Exactly.
me read what he said. I will say this, and do not take me wrong, as I have many friends that prat with me, and for many friends that I don't know prat with me, pray with me and for me, but my black friends do know how to pray. Every morning at 6 a.m., our mayor has an hour of prayer. There is a black man named Calvin, and wow, can he pray? He prays with no pause or interruption. Amen. That's all we done had to do, Brother Doug, is pray. We be on bended knee, on bended knee. That's all we know how to do. And no, I did not take that any other way other than thank you for sharing that. Reggie, again, give us a final thought. How do you really, well, you can't really say certain things, but to view an article, you haven't seen it, but I can tell you where it's at. I can tell you where the article's at. Matter of fact, I can show you where it says, what do black people say about OJ? Would you, as a writer, put that out there like that? Would you find that? I don't know if you can answer it or not, but
I
do
mean,
you
yeah, I
see
mean,
my Confucius says behind this?
some, okay, well, I guess what I can say, in contrast as far as the moral of the story is the fact that we have a long way to go. Because see, racism in today's world is no longer about black and white skin color. It's about ideologies. It's about finances. It's about education. Uh, I mean, we have some of the biggest races we have are the same people that are the same color as we are. The only difference between me and them is that they're elected officials, or they living on the other side of town, or they live somewhere where they feel like, you know.
Or they driving Mercedes.
Right. So we have evolved racism and bigotry. Now, bigotry is actually worse than racism. A lot of people wouldn't know how to define what those two words mean. Some people think those words are synonymous, but they're not. But bigotry is something that any of us could be. Racist is a little hard. That means you're putting a lot of effort into altering someone's life just because of how they look or the color of their skin or whatever other human propensities they may have. But we like I said, we have to do better. But as Teddy Pendergrass said a long time ago, the world won't get no better if we just let it be. So we have to change it, just you and me.
Well, all right. With that being said, let me just go and play a little bit of that. Let me just play a little bit of that. Teddy, oh Teddy, oh Teddy. That's when music was music, you know? It had a meaning.
Yes. Wake Up Everybody was a very inspiring song.
I mean, it was just a wonderful it was just amazing. An
It's amazing
amazing
how the
song.
songs of the 70s is telling the truth about what we're dealing with today, because probably one of the greatest songs was done in 72 when Marvin Gaye came out with What's Going On. Because we still asking that question about what's going on.
Now y'all know I just put this on here and they had a nerve to not be trying to play it. Okay, let me now I'm getting mad now. Okay, and this say by this say Harold and the Blue Note.
Well, Harold Melvin and Blue Notes was the group that Teddy was singing with at the time.
Okay, just make sure people understand it. Y'all go back and listen to this now. Thank you, Reggie, for this. We're gonna close out on this. Can you hear it?
I hear it.
Ooh, and they on Soul Train, y'all. Look at that. They on Soul Train.
What you do is listen very carefully and see what you can do to lend a hand.
See what you can do to lend a hand. Me and Reggie, we doing it.
No more thinking, time to thinking ahead. The world is saying so very much what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh, bring up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. They're the ones who are coming up. What you have to say? They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When the teachers
Is that what they used to do?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just tag that on to the end of this post.
Build a new land, y'all. We can do it if we all in the hands. Only thing we have to do, make up in our mind. And everything will work out every time. Oh! It won't get no better, y'all, if we don't start telling the truth and living in our truth, living the reality. Bye, y'all. We got to change the world. Just you and me, not just you and me, all of us. Brother Doug, we can change it, yeah. Oh, change it, yeah. Y'all should go back and listen to some of this old music. It's really good. Bye, y'all. Be blessed. And hey, we gotta change the world. Just we can't do it by ourselves. Let's do it, y'all.
There she go, oh, the reality leaving coach. Truth, knowledge, wisdom, shades on. There she go, oh, the reality leaving coach. Truth, knowledge,